to my mind, let me say what a flourishing adult or a flourishing child has. Not just the absence of misery, but it's a real thing. It's the presence of 5 things. So the first is positive emotion, joy, comfort, happiness. I want to make sure you don't mistake positive psychology for the smiley face. So one of the 5 elements of positive psychology is smiling and being cheerful and being merry and being happy, but it's very important that you know that cheerfulness is normally distributed in the human population. And that means that there are 3 billion people in the world right now who don't feel happy or merry or cheerful. And the second thing to know, cheerfulness is strongly genetically based. It's about 50% heritable. And what that means to those of us who work on, I'm by the way in the lower half of positive affectivity, and by the way, I take my own medicine generally, so each of the exercises that I'll be telling you about are things that are first, if it works on me, I try it, then I give it to my wife and 7 children. If it works on them, I give it to my graduate students. If it works on them, we start to do clinical trials on it. What I think we have with the P, the smiley face, is about 15% leverage. And that means if you're a low positive affective, prone to depression and pessimism, there's about 10 to 15, I know tricks to get you to live in the upper part of a set range. And it's the genetics and the distribution of positive emotion that tells me that positive psychology is not a happyology. It's about engagement as well. The question of when time stops for you, when you're one with the music, when you're in flow. And we know something about that now. Mike Csikszentmihalyi is a leader in this field. Flow occurs, learning occurs in the classroom and elsewhere when your highest strengths are just matched to the highest challenges that come your way. And that notion says we need to know what children's highest strengths are. And I'll tell you something about that, as well as teachers' highest strengths in about 15 minutes. The third element of positive psychology is good relationships. And some of you are blessed with knowing how to bring off good relations, but good relations are a skill. And it turns out there have been discoveries in the last decade about that skill, discoveries that tell us we can teach good relationships to our children. The fourth element is meaning, belonging to and serving something you think is bigger than the self. The self is an impoverished site for meaning, but human beings, I believe, ineluctably search for meaning. I believe human beings have not only been individually selected, a la Dawkins, but also group selected, and that human beings are hive creatures, just like termites and wasps and bees. And I'll say more about that later. And the final element of flourishing for a child or an adult is achievement, accomplishment, mastery, and competence.